The people of East Berlin received Soviet Deputy Premier Anastasy Mikoyan in silence Saturday, silence so deep it had the appearance of a planned snub. The communists drummed up thousands of spectators, but there were far from enough to fill the streets as Mikoyan drove through the city after arriving at Schönefeld Airport from Moscow. Mikoyan, who is also foreign trade minister, came for the Leipzig fair. He was accompanied in a closed car by East German Communist chief Walter Obrecht, Polish Premier Joseph Schenkowitz, and Czech Deputy Premier Ocek Simonek followed in another closed car. An Air Force C-130 Hercules Saturday snared the instrument capsule of Discoverer No. 38 after it orbited the Earth a record 65 times in 4 days. The previous record was 64 orbits for Discoverer No. 36. A radio signal from the ground ejected the 300-pound capsule from the orbiting satellite as the capsule drifted down by parachute. 4 C-130s from Hickam Air Force Base moved into position in the vast ballpark near Hawaii. The wreckage of a U-2 spy plane containing the body of its pilot discovered on the Mojave Desert a few miles east of Edwards Air Force Base Saturday. Killed was 36-year-old Captain John Campbell of Blasingale, New York. He was a pilot with the 4080th Strategic Wing based at Laughlin Air Force Base in Del Rio, Texas, on temporary duty. The Soviet Union accused President Kennedy of opening a nuclear arms race. Red China rushed to Moscow's support. Some non-aligned nations expressed regrets, and U.S. ally Japan showed annoyance. But as President Kennedy's speech on resumption of U.S. nuclear atmospheric tests echoed around the world Saturday, America's Atlantic Alliance partners stood firm behind the president's decision. The official Soviet news agency TASS said it smacked of blackmail for Kennedy to announce new U.S. tests in April unless the Kremlin agreed to a nuclear test ban with foolproof controls. TASS declared Kennedy did not risk anything, knowing very well that the Soviet Union rejects the system of inspection, which it called a system of espionage. The Soviet Union is having trouble producing enough food for its 200 million people. It's a major challenge for Nikita Khrushchev, and within the next few days he must disclose how he proposes to solve it. Associated Press's Preston Grover writes crops will be a prime topic when the Soviet premier reports to the Central Committee of the Soviet Communist Party meeting Monday. The committee, the party's 175-member parliament, deals with big problems under the guidance of top party leaders. The battle for better crops has been one of the sorest problems the Soviet Union has had to face in its 44 years. The communists inherited it from the czars. And sporting new beards and wearing wide grins, 100 Navy men emerged from 2 weeks in a cramped nuclear radiation fallout shelter Saturday. Doctors reported they got along fine by doing the twist, playing checkers, and talking about food and girls. The 96 enlisted men, 1 officer, a Navy doctor, and 2 medical corpsmen gave out sighs of relief as they came blinking out of the tiny shelter below the Bethesda Navy Medical Center. They had proved that underground shelters such as the Stella Arch type in which they had lived do not need artificial heat. They also proved morale can remain high for 100 men who endure 2 weeks together in a 25 by 48-foot chamber, not much bigger than a king-sized living room. And those some of the day's top news stories as reported in the newspapers of Sunday, March 4th, 1962 on your radio. Suspense, the conclusion next on Classic Radio Theater.
While you have free time and you're sitting at home and you ponder what kind of gifts to buy for someone, PatriotDepot.com has you covered from puzzles, games, novelty items. If you're looking for some unique style items when it comes to the president, for more you can check out PatriotDepot.com. Call 844-377-8052. That's 844-377-8052 or PatriotDepot.com. Use promo code USA.
If you enjoy our Classic Radio Theater broadcasts and want to start building a collection of your own, go to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you'll find links to great classic radio collections on CD, along with links to great reading on classic radio, plus Classic Radio Theater on demand. Check out our webpage, available now at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And enjoy.
When thinking about life insurance, my accident reinforced you never know what tomorrow might bring. That's why I reached out to AccuQuote. AccuQuote helps people find a life insurance policy that meets their needs. Since 1986, they've helped millions of folks save up to 60% on their life insurance by comparing the rates and features of dozens of top-rated life insurance products. A healthy 50-year-old non-smoker can buy $500,000 of 10-year level term for less than $45 a month. A 60-year-old under $120 a month. Longer or permanent terms are available. Even if you already own life insurance, you really need to check out my friends at AccuQuote. Don't worry about health issues. Remember, they help me. As a pastor, I'm concerned about your soul and helping you to make sure your family is taken care of. Life insurance is more affordable now than ever, so don't make them wish you'd made that call. 877-437-4781. Call now, 877-437-4781. 877-437-4781.
Rates, policy forms, and availability vary by state.
Our U.S. Constitution is amazing. It's full of what's called negative rights, designed to protect us from the corrupt powers of a dictatorship.
Like our right to worship our own God, not some official state religion.
Our right to prevent the government from seizing our property without paying fair market value for it.
Or our right to be tried by a jury of our peers, people like us, not by some star tribunal.
And that's why America has become the richest, most just society in the world.
Other countries force so-called positive rights onto their citizens. These enable one group to take from another group their free speech, money, and choice by using government force. Socialists love wielding this power over people.
Sometimes we take our freedoms for granted, but we can lose our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and become like Venezuela or North Korea, failed, brutal socialist regimes.
We need your help to spread the good news about our amazing U.S. Constitution. Help us take back America. Go to ouramericanrights.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
On our Friday Classic Radio Theater, we go back 71 years, March 5th, 1950, an episode of The Whistler and the Chinese Elephant Puzzle. That will be on our Friday program, but right now the conclusion of Suspense from 59 years ago today, March 4th, 1962, Doom Machine.
The main thing, of course, is to be positive the formula's correct before you throw the switch.
Not much chance I'll have to figure that. Max makes all the decisions.
Well, that's the one reason I'm not worried about the danger, Jack. You can trust Max. Whatever you think of him, you know that.
I suppose so.
Well, it's important that you believe in him. His mind, Jack, his pure electronic brain will do more for humanity than generations of emotional beings like us.
Home 23.
Home 23.
Omega 15.
Omega 15.
Thermodyne 24.
Thermodyne 24.
Set rheostat control.
Set rheostat. Max, that's it. That's the test for solar energy, the final test.
Set rheostat control.
You sure we're ready for it, Max? Let me look over the formula.
Formula is right.
Well, at least let me see it.
Do now.
Now? Is there any reason why we must finish it this afternoon? We've been working all day. I want to look over the formula tonight and tomorrow.
Must finish. Must finish.
All right. Nothing stops you. Let me turn on the AudioVox tape recorder so we can record the steps. Not a chance to get anywhere arguing with a machine. Never tired, no emotions, no feelings. After this test, I'm through. Dr. Ferris will know I'm walking out.
Set rheostat control.
Just a minute. There. Now I'll check the thermal drums. The graphing.
Set thermal panel.
Check.
Increase. Raise. Thermal 8. Radial flux.
Oh, it's hot. You must be tapping the sun. Look at that control panel spin.
Thermal 10. Radial flux 8. Thermal 12, radial flux 9.
Max, it's getting too hot. I don't think we can get any more increase.
Thermal 14, radial flux 10.
No, Max, it won't work. I see it now. We're absorbing too much heat in the tube. We're not channeling out.
Thermal 16.
I'm afraid, Max. I'm afraid. Max is shooting heat rays. Max!
Jack gone. Heat over maximum. Need new formula.
Wonderful, Max, wonderful. It's running on solar energy. With this machine alone, this laboratory model, we could power 100 factories.
Heat too high.
Yes, I checked the thermal drums. The heat is too high, but we can fix that. Take a little work, but we can do it. You have no idea where Jack is?
Jack gone.
Yes, you told me that, but where? Well, I suppose he skipped out. He's been threatening that for a long while. Fine time to do it, though. That's human loyalty for you, and he used to say you couldn't be trusted because you had no feelings. Nothing would stop you from finishing a job. No petty human considerations.
Check audio box.
Yes, good idea, Max. I want to hear the steps in this experiment.
Not a chance to get anywhere arguing with the machine.
Yes, that's Jack.
Never tired, no emotions, no feelings. After this test, I'm through. Dr. Ferris or no, I'm walking out.
Yeah, just as I thought. Good riddance.
Set rheostat control.
Just a minute.
Yeah. I don't want to hear any more of this. Don't worry, Max. I'll get you another assistant. Nobody worthy of you, I'm afraid. Just another human being like Jack. But you'll be able to use his arms anyway, won't you, Max?
Yes, Master.
Look, Sally, I appreciate the chance to work with your father, but I just couldn't take orders from Max.
Philip, I think you're wrong. I really do think that this time you're wrong.
Listen, why do you think Jack quit? Besides, your father never liked me, and this is his opportunity to make a fool of me.
But Daddy was very disappointed in Jack. This is your chance to make good in his eyes, patch everything up.
Oh, I don't know.
Besides, the work is so important. You keep telling me yourself how brilliant Daddy
Yeah,
is.
sure, but...
When this work is completed, Philip, it will mean all sorts of honors.
Will you
for
listen
him.
for a minute?
It can be the making of you as a scientist. Oh, for my sake, take the job.
You make it very hard to refuse.
Then don't refuse, Philip. I can call Daddy back.
All right, darling. For your sake, call him back.
Now, Philip, the one problem we had was the excess of heat vibration in the thermal tube itself. I checked over Max's new formula to decrease that, and I think he's got it. I've given him instructions based on that new formula. I want you to follow Max's orders completely. I'm jetting out to the Capitol again with a member of the National Thermal Committee, and I'm sure you can handle the work in my absence.
Well, I don't see why not. The way it looks, I'd only be an extra pair of hands for Max.
Just so. A very apt bit of phrasing, Philip.
Well, Max and I might as well get to work.
Fine. Max will show you how to regulate the thermal drums. Good luck.
I'm afraid we've been keeping you from concluding your experiments, Dr. Ferris, having you report to the Capitol so often.
On the contrary, Dr. Larkin, I'm in the fortunate position of being able to place my work in even more capable hands than mine.
Oh?
I don't suppose you've heard of Max.
Max?
Primary field 23.
Primary field 23.
Secondary field 19. Coil 64.
Secondary field 19, coil 64.
Circumference 20 degrees.